Hello, everyone. Welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I'm Kirat Attar, content strategist at Foundry, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest today is Narendra Saini, Chief Digital and Data Officer for Lupin Pharmaceuticals. Narendra, welcome to this edition of CIO Leadership Live, and it is such a pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah, thank you, Kirat. Today's pleasure is all mine.
Thank you. Narendra, tell us a little bit about Lupin and your role and responsibility as the Chief Digital and Data Officer of the organization.
Yeah, definitely. So, Lupin is a very well-known global pharmaceutical brand in the generics and formulation biosimilars and APIs, which is active pharmaceutical ingredients. We were founded about 50 years ago by DBG, and he is a well-known name for his global leadership in anti-TB medicine. We have offices across the globe in US, APAC, EMEA, and LATAM, and we work with around 18 world-class manufacturing facilities across India, Japan, USA, Mexico, and Brazil. Roughly around 20,000 strong team. We've been growing, fabulously in last few quarters. We have done pretty well, and we are looking forward for another great year coming in with the year end coming in approaching. Well, myself, Narendra, I look after digital and data function within Lupin, and I look at development and implementation of forward-thinking digital strategies. So we work on a lot of design thinking workshop with the business teams and all. So apart from looking at companies' overall goal and objectives from digital, overall. Other than that, I lead the digital transformation teams within the organization, identifying opportunities and leveraging emerging technologies and trends to drive the business innovation and growth. With this, I'm also looking at, apart from the technical part, looking at the change management that is required to achieve the goals. And this means looking at all the new technologies, bringing them in and making sure that there is a right knowledge and right understanding within the team about the new tech stack that we are looking at. Finally, the goal that we have is to look at the three levers: the customer service, the revenue growth, and to the optimization part. So those are the things that I'm looking at this point of time.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Narendra. A vast scope, and the company obviously has a really big reach across the globe. And given how important digital transformation is to all aspects of business and every kind of business, pharmaceuticals included, I hope we'll be able to get into some of the aspects as this interview goes on. You mentioned emerging technologies as one of the key areas that you look into. And now we've got a lot of digital technologies that are really transforming the space, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things. Tell us what technologies you're placing your bets on for 2024, considering we've seen such an influx of different technologies in 2023 and before. What are some of the technologies that you feel are really going to blow up or go big in 2024? And how is Lupin company in particular leveraging these technologies to enhance research, development, and other key areas of the business?
Yeah, okay. It's a good question, in fact, Kirat. Looking at this emerging technologies, landscape is ever evolving, right? And with a greater pace, as in the recent times, if you've seen the last 5 years, growth has been a lot more than what was there in previous 10 years, for that matter.
True.
Having said that, I think we have worked on establishing a robust data platform based on the technology foundation over the last few years. We have evolved from a traditional four-layered architecture to a six-layered architecture, which encompasses the data layer and also the analytics layer on top of the existing four layers. We are also evolving from the additional layer on the how do we interact, that is the user experience layer on top of that. So this is from the foundation backend. However, if you really look at from the technology stack point of view, we are currently having industrial IoT, a DNA adoption, which is data and analytics in the ecosystem. We have full stack solutions which we are building from ground zero on the data platform. We have currently low code, no code platform and intelligent automation, enterprise BI, multiple things that we are doing on enterprise BI. We are actually embedding a lot of snippets of codes, the Python codes, looking at how the enterprise BI experience can be enhanced, and we can actually move from descriptive to the predictive or the prescriptive intelligence in that itself. That's from what we've been doing. I think apart from that, we are also looking at the AR and VR from the visualization perspective, also from the training and compliance perspective as well. Other than that, I think we're working across the learning and learning platform, learning and gaming platform, and we are also trying Gen AI tech stack. Currently, we are looking into the digital assistant intelligence summarization at this point of time from Gen AI, but we are also moving towards causal analysis, looking at the various organizational processes wherever we can find value, using emerging technologies.
The Gen AI implementation and the generative assistant, etc., is that for something within the organization, or is that something you're extending to customers and clients as well?
We are looking at both sides of it, Kirat.
That's great. Such a vast scope, and you actually mentioned so many technologies. It was hard to pinpoint one, but I did remember, yes, full stack, low code, no code ones, which is all have, I think, little impact, but cumulatively it'll take you to the next level technologically in the business. So thank you so much for that, for that detailed answer. It's no questions that when you've got such a large business and you have the number of customers that you do, that you'll be garnering a huge amount of data, and data is the new oil. And that statement could not be truer for a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
What are some problem areas that you tackle with data analytics at Lupin? And how does your team ensure the protection of said sensitive data, especially considering that cyber attacks are on the increase and are getting more sophisticated by the day?
Okay. So let me first break this question in two parts. First, about data is new oil. Probably it's a new asset for us. It's always been an asset, but I think for a pharma company, given that we are a regulatory, heavy industry, I think data is more of an asset than an oil. Let me put it that way. However, as part of the data analytics, which is the first part of your question, is we're adopting it in a big way across different processes. I think in last 3-4 years, we have looked at multiple use cases spreading across manufacturing, quality, finance, HR, sales, marketing, corporate functions, and global functions as well. I think there is hardly any area which is untouched from having a use case from data analytics point of view.
Yeah.
On the use case point of view, I think manufacturing is one side of it, but we are also getting into not just the simple, straightforward, machine learning and data analytics or deep learning use cases. We are also getting into the forensic analysis use cases, where we are looking at the causal analysis, in a big way, and that's another very important part what we are looking at. Now, coming to the second part to the question that you have asked, is how are we going about protection of this
cyber security? Yeah.
So we are actually a strictly regulated industry for that matter, right?
Absolutely.
And I think pretty early, itself, we have done the data classification, which is part of data governance. We have done the data classification way early, and based on that, we have implemented various processes and to ensure proper data governance, from collection to processing to storing to maintenance and presenting the data, and then purging the data as well. So we are fully complied to various data privacy regulations across the globe, in fact.
Yes, not just one country. Yeah.
Not just one country, yes. From the data security perspective, I think every organizations, I think particularly pharma and medtech, again, is always on the target of cyber criminals. And if you really have to look at the back end, we probably all of us would be eliminating or would be targeted by a few hundreds or a few thousand attacks every month, right? And so we constantly endeavor to stay ahead of both from the tech as well as from the processes point of view. And one of the key aspect that constituents that we figure out in the security is about people, and we should provide enough thorough training and compliance details to our people, enable them, and make sure that they are part of the secure processes, right? We currently stand in top tier when it comes to the security compliance and the security compliance rating globally as of today.
That was actually a really important point that you mentioned, because it is at the level of people that's probably very vulnerable, because Yeah, because we won't know about all of the attacks that you have managed to stop. The attack that will become known is the one that you can't, that you didn't stop. So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it's a live and learn situation when it comes to cybersecurity.
Correct.
So talking about your role a little bit more as the Chief Digital and Data Officer of Lupin, you play a pivotal role in driving digital innovation, considering that all the entire digital front is under your leadership. Can you share your perspective on what you think the future of IT within the pharmaceutical industry is going to look like, and how Lupin is preparing to adapt to upcoming technological trends and changes?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. In fact, when it comes to digital, digital has can be part of the conventional IT, or you can say the modern IT. And when we look at conventional IT, it's a subset. But when we talk about modern IT, it's actually all about digital, right? And IT is like a bloodstream to any organization. The role of IT has continuously evolved in the industry in last few years, and pharma is no exception, right? So I'm talking from the pharma perspective because I think before COVID, we've been fairly slow, but after COVID, I think things have changed dramatically for us. Including the
Yes.
pharma regulators have picked up some of the options such as remote audit, which was never known in the industry earlier, right? So
That's something that's happened post-COVID.
yes, that happened during the COVID period.
During COVID.
That also.
Okay.
So that means our regulators are also becoming IT savvy, and that gives us an opportunity to explore further in terms of data and digital and remote activities. And that's where almost all top players as of today in the pharma industry have embarked on their journey. That is subject to their respective goals that they have. But digitization and transformation is there in the pharma industry across the globe, particularly India, because India is called as a pharmacy of the world, right? So we still produce most of the medicines across the globe. Coming to my role and my thing, I think one of the major thing that I've been able to do, and I think we'll continue to do in future as well, is to set up the right technology foundation and evolve on that foundation. The foundation should be such that it should be able to embrace any changes in technology. For example, if you have to talk about something like GenAI as of today, can my data platform provide or support that? Can I look at the data fabric architecture or something like that, right? So to embrace a GenAI, we need to also ensure there is sufficient data governance below it, right? Sufficient data management, data quality,
Yes.
privacy, and all those things that need to be looked after, right? So these are the things which our team has been looking into, and we'll continue to evolve ourselves in these areas. Apart from that, I think I'm seeing a huge adoption of analytics and AI. Gen AI
Notwithstanding, yeah.
not keeping aside the Gen AI part, because Gen AI is in a way a subset of AI. So AI adoption across the industry is gonna be one of the key part. What I've also seen is that probably AI by the generic pharma company is not extensively used in research and research processes, particularly, or R&D. But I think that's one area which I see that will change as well in the coming few years.
So you see potential for it to grow.
Yes. Apart from that, I think GenAI has played a very, very important role GenAI has a very, very important role here. I see that interacting with technology, understanding the data has become a lot more simpler after GenAI has come in. That is one thing that probably will have a huge adoption in the coming years.
Thank you so much.
Talk about it. Let's look at your next set of questions. Yeah.
Actually, the next question is, in a way, and now I've realized that it is linked to this one, because you mentioned Gen AI and the heavy use of analytics a lot of times. And every time there is the advent of a technology which looks like it's making things simpler, and it actually is, there is concern about the people who used to do those tasks before. That's the mindset. Overall, Lupin has about over 20,000 employees. And notwithstanding the company, there is actually a lot of since ChatGPT has come around, there's been a lot of chatter about how there's a subset of people which is like, learn to leverage it, learn to work with it, and you could be better at your job. And then there's another subset which is probably worrying about where their roles stand. So how do you perceive the advent of more technology, generative AI, ChatGPT, which makes things so much simpler, so much more intuitive? In terms of employment, how does that change the way you look at talent? What skills are you looking for today, and you maybe didn't look for 6 months back or a year back? And ultimately, what skills do you value when you're hiring new talent in Lupin?
Okay. Okay. So if I have to break question, then I'll probably break in three things: that the impact of ChatGPT and GenAI for that matter, and the industry and the employment. Second is what kind of a talent that people probably I'm looking at, and also what kind of people who will and what to do with these 20,000 people, right? We have, and how it will gonna change.
I mean, sure, yes, you can address that.
Yeah. So let me put in a different perspective. Okay, most of the people have seen the technology, as something that takes away the job, but that didn't really happen. I don't really see in last 20-25 years of my career that technology has taken away somebody's job. In fact, technology has given people the job.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think when we started working on the enterprise BI, the similar question came in. But what I saw on the other side of being, I think we have a very strong enterprise BA practice. We have not taken away job, but we have created more and more automation in which it becomes simpler for people as of today to use technology, for which we probably would have, if we have increased our scale, we could have needed probably another 30, 40, 50, 100 people, which we avoided, right? Now, which we avoided means we have increased the efficiency in the way that we are doing the work. If we grow our business from current, X to 2X,
Stage 2, yeah.
we may need 20,000 to 25,000 people or 30,000 people rather than 40,000 people.
40,000 people, yeah.
So basically, what I'm looking at is I'm continuously going to grow my business with lesser number of people, of course, but then also bringing in more efficiency. So this technology is not going to take away job. What it means is that people who will continue to upskill themselves and upgrade themselves, they will stay and they will continue to thrive. That has happened in last 25 years, has taught me that technology has not taken away anyone's jobs. But for us to stay relevant, we need to continuously learn, and that's what has been the case all this while. And I believe that will continue to stay. So for us, I don't really see any threat to any of even a single person who works with us. Yeah. And works with us and work for us both ways, employees, direct employees, even the contract employees. But what I see is that definitely we would want them to understand how to use Gen AI more effectively, right? So there are a lot of other ways in which we can increase our efficiency and we can probably increase our market share. So rather than cutting down of number of jobs, we should look at how we can increase our market share. How can we increase our product quality? How we can increase our customer services, right? So those are the focus areas of the technology rather than cutting down the numbers. So my perspective is slightly different, Kirat here. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And yes, you are absolutely right in that regard, because it's a fear sometimes that people have when a technology looks like it's just suddenly doing a lot of things. But I think similar fears may have also existed when the internet first came around, or when instant email, instant messaging first came around, and a lot of other chatbots came around. So
we know robotic process automation chatbot that existed maybe more than 10 years now, and it has not taken away any jobs.
It has not led to the fear of mass unemployment, as there was, has been unfounded. And it is probably similar to ChatGPT as well, because it is aiding more people to do their work better, and helping businesses to scale in every aspect that you just mentioned. Scaling more, improving product quality, offering seamless customer service. Thank you so much for that perspective. And that was actually my final question. So that brings me to the end of this interview, Narendra. Thank you so much for connecting with me and being so candid about all the trends that you're seeing technologically and otherwise, everything that Lupin is doing. It's always so important when a company is responsible for saving the lives of people, providing a higher quality of life to people, and that the lifespan that they live, it's carried out with dignity and with lack of pain rather than the otherwise. So thank you so much for your role in the organization, and thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you, Kirat. It was a pleasure speaking to you as well.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank all of our viewers for watching. Until the next episode, this is Kirat signing off from this episode of CIO Leadership Live.